Salutations! I'm Silver Fae, an aspiring artist and author, and if this is your first time in the court, welcome. If it isn't, well, it's a pleasure to see you again. This video, we're finishing off the current WorldSwap series with Bloom and Fawn. So, matching the other Winx girls to their fairy talents has been pretty straightforward thus far. Aisha as a water talent fairy, Flora as a gardening talent, even Techna as a tinker fairy was pretty obvious. Well, since this video marks the home stretch for the series, I think I can be given a little slack to make a bit of a stretch story-wise. There aren't any fire talent fairies, not canonically within the shows and movies anyway, plus that doesn't really encompass Bloom's magic in the Winx universe either. Bloom is the fairy of the dragon flame, the source of all magic in their universe. So, what's the source of all magic in Pixie Hollow? Pixie dust. Bloom is a dust keeper fairy in Pixie Hollow. Like most of the pixie dust fairies, she works in the fairy dust mill. Her mornings start with a flyabout with Flora and Aisha before she heads into work. On her lunch break, she'll often go to check in on Techna and her tinkering, then together they go eat with Musa. On her rare days off, she'll go to the spa with her friends, an activity her bestie Stella never misses. She and Stella are often the masterminds behind their group activities. Bloom always makes certain that there's something for everyone to enjoy. I'm very proud of Bloom's outfit. I kept the splash of aqua since it was her iconic color in the first 2 seasons, but I made certain to make the rest of her outfit colors match the Dustkeeper fairy fits. I gave her a little acorn hat to help pull the browns up, plus it's cute. Lastly, I gave her wings a golden tint like most Dustkeeper fairies have. And that's it. That's Bloom the Dustkeeper. Alright, so last video, I said that I was struggling a lot with the Enchantix designs, the last few videos. Fawn's design broke my struggling streak, sort of. Her outfit came to me pretty fast because I knew I wanted her to have shorts, which you'd think would limit me a bit more, but luckily, tiger lilies exist and gave me the idea for the shape of her fluttery dress. I kept her iconic braid but exaggerated her bangs and the sides of her hair that frame her face. Like with all my other Winx Club designs, I pulled color from her original outfit to play with for her design. Now, Fawn's wings gave me a ton of trouble as far as color goes. I like the design I first came up with, though I had wanted something a little softer and moth-like. But I feel like the shape language ended up working just fine. Her fairy dust vial looks like a beast's eye, mimicking the false eyes in the pattern of her wings. Fawn's homeworld is Wilddale. It is a world filled with beautiful, diverse environments that are home to a plethora of the Magic Dimension's fantastical species. Many of the settlements and cities on Wilddale are built around the land so as to not disturb the natural wildlife. Even so, some areas are left untouched and wild for the sake of conservation. The week after the girls returned was uneventful. News from the council at Lucian had yet to be released and no new reports came from the headmistress Clarion on the mysterious trio. Until one morning, Fawn received a summons to the headmistress's office and received a letter. It was addressed to her from her uncle Dr. Channing, a renowned wildlife expert. He was requesting her help, expressing in length that her skills would be very, very helpful in his current expedition. She left the next morning for Wilddale to meet Dr. Channing at the port. Fawn, thank you ever so much for joining me, Dr. Channing began, leading her down the stone-lined paths of the city. I was in the midst of my expedition when I encountered an issue. You see, there is a network of caverns that have piqued my interest in the southern sect of the Willing Wood, but every time I near the cave entrance, some creature spits lightning at me. Lightning? Fawn repeated. Yes! I can barely get within 10 feet of the entrance without nearly getting fried. Fawn was silent for a moment, then she sighed. Well, I will see what I can do. They took a river boat to cross the Willing Wood. As they traveled, the two of them shared stories of their exploits, finding a common ground in their love for adventure. Their conversations continued well after the boat ride, interrupted only as they neared the cave's entrance. Traces of primordial magic tinged the air, making Fawn's skin prickle. She glanced toward the yawning cave entrance, listening to the protests of the stone as whatever hid in the thick shadows prowled forward. A grating screech ripped through the clearing, nearly knocking Fawn off her feet and sending Dr. Channing tumbling into the bushes. Fawn glanced over her shoulder as he yelped, and when she turned back, she found herself staring into a pair of baleful violet eyes. The beast emerged. Its bird-like beak snapped a warning as lightning zipped among its metallic scales and feathers. Fawn ducked as the creature lunged for her, watching as its beak struck the ground where she once stood. It wrenched itself free, charging at her as she retreated. Serene Stupor! The spell burst from her palms, blanketing the beast in a comforting aura. She watched as the creature slowed, hope blossoming in her chest, but it was short-lived as the creature shrieked. Her spell shattered, leaving her dumbfounded as it turned on her again. She braced herself as it prepared to charge. Tink! The creature halted as a stone bounced off its head. Dr. Channing stood among the trees, readying another rock, which he dropped the moment the beast glared at him. Fawn screamed a warning as the creature rushed her uncle, but terror froze him in place. She acted quick, summoning Beast's blessing for a burst of speed as she threw herself in front of the charging beast. The impact sent her flying. She struck a tree and crumpled to the ground. Dr. Channing screamed her name as he scrambled to her body. He knelt beside his niece, gently shaking her shoulders as terror gripped him. Behind him, electricity crackled and he glanced back, watching as the creature charged up one final attack. It fired. Beside him, light flared from Fawn. The beast's attack fizzled out as it met the burst of feral power. Fawn was standing once more, the power of enchantix coursing through her. She held up a hand as the creature backed away. Wild's Lullaby. The spell engulfed the beast, surrounding it in a warm glow. Its hackles lowered, and it relaxed beneath the soothing tones of the enchantment. It settled upon the ground, content. Alrighty, that was Fawn, Fairy of Beasts, and Guardian of Wilddale. You made it to the end. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a paw print or a fire in the comments below, along with your thoughts if you've got any. Every comment helps. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye!